One of the longest-running and most successful legal-themed television series, Perry Mason aired from September 21, 1957 to May 22, 1966, with 9 seasons and 271 episodes produced. During Perry Mason's distinguished career as a criminal defense attorney in Los Angeles, he and his staff, Secretary Della and private investigator Paul Drake, encountered a wide variety of now classic cars belonging to both the perpetrators of crimes and their victims. Today we're taking a look at the classic cars of Perry Mason. Let's begin. Passing a 1955 Studebaker, 1957 Dodge Custom Royal Lancer, 1957 Lincoln Premier, and 1950 Ford Custom, Perry Mason's client, Evelyn Bagby, arrives at her apartment in her 1941 Mercury 8. She fears she's being followed, and taking Perry's advice, decides to leave for the night. Her fears are confirmed when she's pursued by a hooded man behind the wheel of a 1957 Ford Custom. Passing by a police edition 1957 Ford Custom and 1957 Chevy 150, Perry Mason arrives at the scene of a wreck in his 1957 Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner. Perry's suspicious when homicide detectives are on the scene, but he quickly realizes the victim is the mysterious hooded man who'd been pursuing his client. Arriving in a 1957 Buick Special, Perry Mason has an appointment to meet his client, Peter Cole. But much to his surprise, it's not Mr. Cole who awaits him at the door, but rather Police Lieutenant Tragg. While Mrs. Granger's spying on her cheating husband, she's confronted by her husband's business associate. But while he's questioning her, he collapses after being shot. A frightened Mrs. Granger speeds away from the scene in her 1957 Plymouth Belvedere. But things only get worse when she loses control on the dirt road, wrecking the 57 Plymouth. A 1947 ACF Brill model IC-41 bus carrying a Mrs. Reed rolls into Logan City. As she departs the bus, she's met by Donald Briggs, a private investigator. He's arranged a cab for her, a 1947 Cadillac Fleetwood 75 that transports her to her motel. Chem student and accused murderer Marv Adams uses his 1939 Dodge T-Series truck as a platform to perform tricks for the town's kids. He wows the children by using a magical chemical solution to show that it's possible to drown a duck. Della and Paul Drake arrive at Marv Adams' residence in a 1957 Cadillac Series 62 Convertible to look for clues to help prove that Adams is wrongfully being accused of murder. France Elaine argues with her Uncle Edward Norton over his control of her trust fund. After Uncle Norton refuses to release the fund's money to her until she turns 25, she storms out of the home, gets behind the wheel of a 1957 Imperial Crown convertible, and furiously speeds away. Arriving at the estate in a 1946 Ford Super Deluxe, Fran's fiancé, Ron, intends to have a talk with Uncle Edward. While skulking around, he almost runs into Arthur Cranston and Judge Purley, arriving in a 1957 Lincoln Premier. The two pick up Donald Graves, Norton's secretary, and as they're departing in the 57 Lincoln, Graves believes he witnesses Gleason murder Uncle Norton. Later, at the scene, District Attorney Hamilton Berger questions Graves about the specifics of what he witnessed. He then departs in his 1957 Mercury Turnpike cruiser and is followed by a private detective, Paul Drake, driving a 1957 Ford Thunderbird. Driving past a 1941 Ford Super Deluxe station wagon and parking behind a 1957 Buick Century Caballero, ex-con Harry Marlowe arrives at the home of Orchids Unlimited in a 1957 Pontiac Star Chief. He's scoping out the place after conning the owner, Mildred Kimber's weak-willed husband, out of some stock options in the business. Veronica Dale and her partner in crime, Peter Hansel, pull over their 1957 Mercury Montclair to the side of the road with a sinister plan. To lure in a victim, Veronica pretends to hitchhike, and movie producer Edgar Farrell takes the bait, pulling over his 1957 Lincoln Premier convertible.
Looks like I'm going your way. Huh?
Later, the two arrive at Edgar's residence, where Veronica plans to execute her menacing plan. After a gunshot rings out at Edgar Farrell's residence, Veronica escapes to a filling station, where she tries to phone her accomplice, Peter, but to no avail. Arriving at the payphone in a 1956 Continental Mark II is John Addison, a strange man who would soon become tangled up in Veronica's sordid affairs. Ed Davenport leaves home after he believes his wife is trying to poison him. Passing a 1955 Chevy Bel Air Nomad on his way in, he arrives at a motel in his 1957 Pontiac Star Chief, where shortly after he falls extremely ill. Sick in bed, he calls for the nearest doctor. Walking past a 1957 Chevy Bel Air, the doctor arrives at his motel room to find Ed nearly on his deathbed. While Perry's searching Mr. Davenport's office looking for an incriminating letter, a brunette pulls up in a 1954 Buick Special convertible, parking beside a 1957 Cadillac convertible. She peeks in the office window, seeing Perry still at the desk, and runs off. Later, in a 1957 Chevy Corvette C1, Perry and Detective Paul arrive at Mr. Norton's office. They catch the brunette, Mr. Norton's secretary, in his office disposing of evidence. A gangster walks into Maury's restaurant and locks eyes with waitress Dixie Dayton. She runs out of the restaurant's back door into an alleyway where she's chased by a 1951 Cadillac Fleetwood 75. As she turns the corner in front of a 1956 Ford Custom Line four-door, the Cadillac driver fires 2 gunshots at her. She flees into the road, where she's hit by a 1955 Chevy Bel Air. Perry and Della are driving back into Los Angeles when a speeding 1956 Lincoln Premier flies past.
Fasten your seatbelt, Della. The car behind us is trying to break the sound barrier.
The 56 Lincoln forces a 1939 Ford V8 Standard Tudor off the road, where it loses control and flips on its side. Perry and Della stop to check on the driver, who's thankfully not injured. A 1936 Oldsmobile 6 pulls over to help, and the driver offers to take the accident victim to a doctor. Police are looking for John Locke, a suspected accomplice in a murder. Perry spots the man outside the grocery store and begins questioning him about his fiance's whereabouts. Just then, police pull into the parking lot in a 1957 Chevy 150. As a policeman approaches on foot, John hops into his 1953 Austin Healey and speeds away. Arlene Dowling is sunbathing nude by a lake, with her house trailer parked in a small clearing nearby. As she sleeps, a man driving a Willys Jeep CJ2A pulls off the road and scopes out her trailer. He hitches it to his vehicle and drives away with it, leaving Arlene to wake up and see that her home is gone. Later, Dr. Chandler, Arlene's boyfriend, drives out to the woods in his 1957 Lincoln Premier to meet Arlene. She's hiding out in her 1957 Dodge Custom Royal Lancer, now on the run as a murder suspect. In a 1957 Citroën DS-19, Harriet Bain arrives at an apartment complex to meet with a private investigator who has evidence implementing her family members in a blackmail scheme. Just as Mrs. Shelby's flirting with the handyman, her husband, Mr. Shelby, arrives home in his 1958 Buick Century. Mr. Shelby's suspicious of the handyman's intentions with his wife and plans to frame him for murder. In a 1958 Cadillac Series 62 convertible, Perry and the gang visit a location mentioned by a witness during trial, the Skyliner estate. Arriving to an apartment building in a 1958 Ford Thunderbird is a young man, Garvin Jr., who's there to confront Castle the gambler, a man who killed his friend's father over a gambling debt. After a heated argument, Garvin takes a swing at Castle, but receives the worst of the exchange. Later, Perry Mason meets with Castle, arriving at his apartment in a 1958 Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner. He's there to negotiate a deal to resolve the gambling debt of his client, the daughter of the man Castle murdered. But after his meeting, Perry sees his client skulking around the apartment building, and shortly after, Castle the gambler turns up dead. Later, Garvin Jr.'s wife arrives in a 1958 Lincoln Continental Mark III at the car lot where he works. She catches him leaning against his '58 Thunderbird, reading a newspaper article about the recent murder of Castle, and he knows there's a good chance he'll be implemented in the murder. An angry woman, Marion, drives a 1948 Oldsmobile 66 Dynamic to her apartment building and storms inside. She gets into an argument with her roommate, Diana. After a tussle, Marion accidentally discharges a gun and runs out of the apartment crying. The '48 Oldsmobile would later be discovered abandoned in the woods next to Marion's dead body. Strange things are afoot after the South African Diamond Company is robbed, and the only witness to the crime goes missing. Late at night, a 1956 Buick Special drives up to the dock. A man on a rowboat observes the mysterious driver unloading a body from the Buick and pushing it into the water, along with the center block tied to the body.